Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to unpack a powerful ancient story. It's about resilience, transformation. We're talking about the narrative of Prophet Noah, peace be upon him, as found in our source material. Our goal here is to explore some, pretty universal themes: patience, conviction, and what happens based on the choices people make, especially when facing widespread ignorance. So the sources paint this picture of ancient times. A world kind of veiled in darkness, spiritually speaking. People were crafting their own idols, wood, stone, worshiping them without any real concept of a higher power.
Yeah, it describes a society where corruption was, well, pretty rampant. Hearts sealed, minds darkened by pride, stubbornness. And this wasn't new, it was passed down through generations.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting, I think. How does a whole society just fall into that state, lose touch so completely?
That's the core question, isn't it? And what's fascinating here is the sheer simplicity of Noah's message when he arrives on the scene. It wasn't complex theology. It was basically, worship God, you have no other God but him. Just pure monotheism.
So simple yet apparently so hard for them to accept.
Exactly. And the duration. It's extraordinary. The sources mention 950 years.
950 years
Yeah.
of calling people.
Day and night, secretly, openly, persistent. And the rejection was just intense. People literally running away, putting fingers in their ears, covering themselves up so they wouldn't have to see or hear him.
Wow. And the mockery too, right? Like, he's just a human like us.
Yeah, or only the lowest, the poorest follow you. They accused him of having no superiority over them.
But Noah's response,
Yeah,
he just kept going.
he did. Steadfast, full of wisdom, patience. His reply was consistent. I am a messenger from the Lord of the worlds, unwavering despite all that scorn.
Like persistence. It's almost hard to comprehend. Nearly a millennium of rejection.
Yeah.
So what happens when, talking just doesn't work anymore after 950 years? Well, the source material shows this incredible pivot. God commands Noah to do something that must have seemed absolutely absurd.
The ark.
Build a massive ship,
Right.
a huge vessel. But where exactly? In a land with no sea nearby. I mean, talk about a test of faith. It flew in the face of all common sense at the time.
You can just imagine the reaction.
Oh, absolutely. Intense mockery. What's Noah doing now? Building a boat in the desert. The ridicule must have been relentless.
But Noah knew something they didn't. His reply was confident, even prophetic. Something along the lines of, if you mock us now, we'll mock you later. You'll soon find out who faces a truly humiliating, lasting punishment.
So the ark wasn't just transportation. It was a symbol. Hope for some, maybe. Judgment for others.
Precisely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the ark was the preparation for this inevitable, dramatic reckoning. And the description of the flood is intense. The earth bursting forth with water, the sky pouring down rain like never before.
Waves like mountains, the sources say.
Yeah, truly cataclysmic. And Noah's instruction? Load the ark. 2 of every animal, his family, the few believers.
But not all his family made it, did they? There was that really tragic moment.
That's right. The moment with his son, Canaan, it's heartbreaking. Canaan, full of pride, refused to get on board, said he'd save himself on a mountaintop.
And Noah pleaded with him. You can feel the father's anguish in the text.
But Canaan wouldn't listen. Stubbornness sealed his fate. A huge wave came, and that was it. He was gone.
Such a stark lesson there.
Yeah.
No protector today from God's decree except for whom he has mercy. Your own choices matter immensely.
Absolutely. It underlines that conviction, or the lack of it, has personal, sometimes devastating consequences.
So after the flood subsides, the rain stops, the earth absorbs the water, the ark comes to rest. On Mount Judy, according to the sources.
And Noah and the believers step out onto essentially a new world, purified from the disbelief that came before.
A new beginning. So looking back at this whole epic narrative, what are the big takeaways for us, you think? It feels like more than just survival. It's about that incredible psychological strength, isn't it? That persistence against all odds.
Definitely. And it's also a powerful look at collective delusion, how a whole society can ignore an obvious existential threat right in front of them.
And maybe how sometimes a radical shift, like building that ark, is the only way forward when everyone else is stuck.
That's a great point. Conviction isn't passive belief. It often demands radical action, especially when you're standing against the tide, practically alone. It's this idea that sometimes you literally have to build your own refuge, your own ark, against all logic, against all the mockery.
So maybe the question for you, listening, is what stands out to you? Thinking about your own life, what arc might you need to build? Maybe it's a career change, setting a tough boundary, holding onto a principle, something to navigate the currents of today. the prevailing opinions? And crucially, do you have the patience, the conviction to see it through, even if people are mocking you from what looks like dry land? Something to think about. Join us next time for another deep dive.